As a senior leader, there's one tool that can make or break your impact: constructive feedback. But here's the catch: too many leaders either dodge giving feedback, sugarcoat it, or drop feedback like a hammer. Today, I'm going to show you how to strike the perfect balance, delivering feedback that drives performance and deepens trust with your team. Stay with me because I'm going to reveal some strategies to take your leadership feedback to the next level. Let's dive in. Constructive feedback is essential for driving business growth. It bridges the gap between where someone is today and where they need to be. But here's the thing: not all feedback is the same. Done well, feedback fuels growth, innovation, and stronger performance. Done poorly, it kills morale, breeds defensiveness, and stops meaningful progress in its tracks. As senior leaders, you set the tone for the feedback culture, and it's crucial to get it right. Let me set the stage. Feedback thrives in environments where it's normal, expected, and valued. If feedback is inconsistent or only happens when things go wrong, you risk creating an environment where people shut down or disengage, even if your intention is constructive. See, you need to make feedback a regular part of your leadership. When you deliver feedback, both positive and corrective, and you do it consistently, it becomes part of your team's growth, not something they fear or worse, resist. See, one of the best leaders I know that I've worked with over the years has done an exceptional job of creating a culture of continuous feedback. Why? Because he made feedback a consistent part of all his team interactions. Whether they were celebrating small wins or discussing improvements, it became kind of second nature for the team to get feedback from their boss and their teammates. See, this meant that when constructive feedback was given, it wasn't a shock. It was simply part of the culture. That not only built trust, it fueled high performance and continuous improvement. Let's dive a little deeper. Feedback starts with giving clear and actionable advice. Vague feedback like, "you need to improve," that helps nobody, right? It leaves people confused about what to do next and how to improve. Clarity is everything. Your team needs specific, actionable feedback that highlights exactly what needs to change and why. Instead of saying somebody like, "hey, your team update wasn't great," or "it was okay," try something more specific. For example, "hey, in your team update, I noticed the data analysis didn't address the client's concern. Next time, focus more on tailoring the data to address their specific pain points. Like, you did a good job of the internal analysis, but I'd like to see an equal weight on the external analysis in your next update." Can you feel the depth of that difference? Big time, right? So you got to be specific about what actions need to change and provide clear next steps. During a coaching call I had, one leader told me that he wanted to give feedback to one of his direct reports. When I pressed him on exactly what he planned to say, he said, "I don't know, I just need to tell him that he didn't do a good job leading his team meeting." He sat in his team meeting, that was the backdrop, right? And as I dug deeper, I uncovered the real issue wasn't how he led the meeting, but more specifically, the team collaboration during the meeting. So together we workshopped how to reframe that feedback to something like this. Like, "hey, in your last meeting, I noticed that you didn't get the team involved in solving the problem. I could tell there was more they wanted to contribute. So I recommend that you ask more open-ended questions to get your team involved so they can uncover the real issues." Again, can you see and feel the difference? Let's keep digging deeper. Feedback needs to be a dialogue, not a monologue, right? Constructive feedback has got to become a conversation. Your role isn't to deliver a one-way message, but to engage in a two-way conversation. Ask for their input, listen to their perspective, and give them space to reflect. When your team feels genuinely heard, they're more receptive to the feedback. And strong leaders know that. Like, they know that feedback isn't just about improvement. It's about empowering people to take ownership of their growth. See, this approach doesn't just deliver better results, it builds trust. And one of my favorite questions after I give feedback is, "hey, how'd you feel about what I just shared?" I love that question. I've also asked that differently. I've also said things like, hey, how do you feel about where you are right now? See, this usually gets the other person to open up. And if I can do that, I'm off to the races. I can then ask questions like, is that working for you? Or what do you want? Or I could ask questions like, how would you feel if you actually got what you wanted? Or what is in the way of you getting what you want? See, those of you who worked with me, right, who are listening to this, you're probably smiling right now because you know I call this the mirror test. And you, as the leader, have to raise the mirror and get others to see themselves in it. That's the essence of a two-way feedback session that I'm talking about. See, and then, by the way, that's an art to master that. That is really important. See, because constructive feedback isn't just about correcting a mistake; it's unlocking the full potential of the person you're talking to. And if feedback is specific, actionable, and two-way conversation, that gets others to focus on their future. Right? It doesn't just improve their performance; it strengthens your relationship with them and builds trust. Right? Which is big. Let me leave you with this. People learn from the mistakes they make and from the feedback they receive. How you give feedback today shapes the leaders your team will become tomorrow. If you want to explore how to elevate your leadership team and develop growth champions throughout your business who can help you get out of the weeds and scale, I included a link in the description to book an exploratory call, and we can brainstorm what that would look like for you and your business. Okay, if you like what I just shared, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment below related to your business, and of course, subscribe, because each week I'm sharing content to help you and your team embrace change, focus your efforts, and accelerate results. Remember this, you're just one idea away. I hope to talk to you soon.